proper brown ale.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always get down with that brown.
Oh man! And we're back.
Now, this is something. Yeah, see, this is what science is all.
Science. Oh, you're gonna
This
call
is like breaking down. This no. I'm calling it. It's just art. It's art. It's like
art.
Theatrical. It's pain.
All right, for the audiences, like a little bit of background. I don't really care for Kendrick Lamar that much. I know that he's a talented rapper. I know that he is one of the best like lyricists ever, and I don't take that away from him. But meh. Yeah, we'll go with that. But this guy over here is a Kendrick freak, and he was at a show last night. How was that show?
Oh, it was amazing, and this song had everybody going crazy.
Okay.
Crazy last night.
Well, I don't even know if I've heard this song. I probably have, just because I listen to music. But if I have, I haven't listened to it like with open ears, probably.
Oh yeah.
So let's break it down.
Yeah, these lyrics are so freaking deep. Yeah.
All right, let's give it a shot. Here we go.
Hope you find some peace of mind in this lifetime.
Tell them the truth.
I hope you find some paradise. Tell them the truth. Tell them you're.
I've been going through something. 1,855 days. I've been going through something. Be afraid.
What is a bitch in a miniskirt? A man in his feelings with bitter nerve. What is a woman that really hurt? A demon you better off killing her. What is a relative? Make a repetitive narrative on how you did it first. That is a predator.
Pause. Okay. What is a bitch in a mini skirt?
Yeah.
That is a predator hit reverse.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I'm just saying. Okay. Look.
Yeah. I mean, I heard that. Like,
truth. I'm saying this though. You know what? For our beers and bars.
Yeah.
Episode. Okay, for this specific episode.
Yep.
You have to call it beers and truth.
Beers and truth.
Yes, because that's what he's spitting right now.
Okay. Oh, he's spitting the truth. Yeah. Okay. I see where you're going.
Let's go. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Tell them you're.
I've been going through something. 1,855 days. I've been going through something. Be afraid.
What is a bitch in a miniskirt? A man in his feelings with bitter nerve. What is a woman that really hurt? A demon you better off killing her. What is a relative? Make a repetitive narrative on how you did it first. That is a predator in reverse. All of your presidents he with thirst. What is a neighborhood reputable? That is a snitch on a pedestal. What is a house with a better view? A family broken in variables. What is a rapper with jewelry? A way that I show my maturity. What if I...
A way that I show my maturity. What is it? Okay, so
he's saying that he's above all of that crap.
Well, I can see where you're trying to go with it, right? Like, but he's trying to make like similes or whatever to illustrate his point, right? Yes. So he's like, what is a rapper with jewelry?
Mm-hmm. Way that I show my maturity.
Yeah, way that I show my, like, basically saying like I've matured in the rap game.
Yes.
So that like I'm proving to you that I've made it by having gold chains or platinum chains or diamonds or whatever, right?
And that's like, the stuff that he's not sporting, obviously.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So it's just one of them things to say.
It's one of those things that
I've grown past that, and I don't have to show that I need all of this bling or just like whatever to show that I'm noteworthy.
Right.
If I call on security, that mean I'm calling on God for purity. I went and got me a therapist. I can debate on my theories and sharing it. Whoa. Consolidate all my comparisons. Humbling up because time was imperative. Whoa. Started to feel like it's only one answer to everything. I don't know where it is. Whoa. Popping the bottle with Claritin. Whoa. Is it my head or my arrogance? Whoa. Shaking and moving like what am I doing? I'm flipping my time through the Rolodex. Indulging myself in my life and my music. The word that I'm in is a cul-de-sac. The word that we in is just menacing. The demons portray the religionist. I wake in the morning, another appointment. I hope the psychologist listening.
So here's one of the reasons that I don't like Kendrick that much, right?
Okay, let's go.
So what he just did was super, super, super talented. Like right? Like he is going at it, but there's so much going on in the background that it's like, I don't know what to focus on. Right. So like I'm trying to focus on his words and then like comes in, right? Like, I don't know what that was. Maybe it was a skateboard or maybe it was a train coming by or like what that noise was that just, so it took me out of what he's doing. Right. And then, like, okay, now I got to get back into it. Okay. And and then, or like something else comes in, right? Some other sound, like, let me
I'm going to tell you this right here. But I mean, like, I think just like with what he was doing, especially just on this little particular intro, it's just really painting a picture for what's about to happen. You know, he's talking about, of course, like he's been going through all of this stuff for so many days. Right. He's like naming all of these different issues that were going on during that period.
No. So, and
it's just like, it gets to that point to like where it's reaching that climax. And now it's time to get to like everything else.
Right. And I totally get it. And that climax. And so, what I think he's trying to do with like this next part, or like the part that I'm not liking, is he's trying to show how quickly the world is moving, right? Like it's like there's things going on all the time, and then he's rapping quick, but he's like in the midst of the whole thing. So it's like da 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 da, but you hear the world going on around him, right? Yeah. And so it's really cool. Yeah. And like artistically, it's awesome, but it is also at the same time extremely distracting when you're trying to listen to what he's saying.
Well, okay, I can beg to differ though, because I think that those things, it blended, you know, effortlessly, you know, to where
you can see it as well, right? Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. It's just like when he was talking, like I could like picture everything that's going on. It's just like the music behind, just everything was building up with him. Like everything was moving with him, you know? So that's like the reason why I like that. It's just like the music.
So I agree. The music is going with him, but he's going with it too. Stuff is not. Like, let's listen. Hang on.
Okay, let's do that.
What is a rapper with jewelry? A way that I show my maturity. What if I call on security? That mean I'm calling on God for purity. I went and got me a therapist. I can debate on my theories and sharing it. Whoa. Consolidate on my comparisons. Humbling up because time was imperative. Whoa. Started to feel like it's only one answer to everything. I don't know where it is. Whoa.
Like, so what is that?
Yeah. So all of that is drums. Like this is just like live drums.
Right. But
I'm gonna tell you, it's just
distracting.
Like a I don't think it's distracting. It's like a theatrical type of. Vibe
I feel like it would be more theatrical if it was visual. Like I could see him like running up a staircase or like doing something in the like at the same time, like, but we're not watching a music video, right?
I think if a video was dropped for this, like all that would be happening. But I'm gonna tell you,
right. And that's
like
what I mean. So I'm having to try to visualize this, but every time I hear this, it takes me out just a little bit.
All right.
And it's enough to where you miss a lot because he's such a good rapper that he's so quick with it, right?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. And that's why, like with him, of course, he's one of those artists that you have to live with. You know, I mean, just I'm playing the tempo. It's going to be kind of, disturbing to the ear at first or whatever. But I'm like, I personally didn't have a problem with it because of the fact, I don't know, just like listening to, just like those types of styles, like the jazz.
Yep.
Just like the various... just like the various combinations, right. It's something that I think I'm particularly used to where, I didn't, mind it. It was just like something that
it was just right. But for me,
just like want more.
It's taking me away. Like I want to hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
And then something distracts me. And maybe it's just my ADD kicking in, right? Like, I got some ADD and that shit's kicking in. And like every time something random, like squirrel, and I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah.
Okay, noted. Okay.
All right, let's go. Okay.
Popping the bottle with clarity, whoa. Is in my head or my arrogance, whoa. Shaking and moving like what am I doing? I'm flipping my time through the Rolodex. Indulging myself in my life and my music. The word that I'm in is a cul-de-sac. The word that we in is just menacing. The demons portray the religionist. I wake in the morning, another appointment. I hope the psychologist listening. The new Mercedes with black G-Wagon away from. It was all for rap. I was 28 years young, 20 million in tax. Bought a couple of mansions, chefs for practice. 500 in jewelry, chain was magic. Never had it in public. Late reaction, 50K to cousins. Post a caption. Pray none of my enemies hold me captive. I grieve different.
Wow.
So he's talking about buying mansions and like just for practice. And
if you talked about, it was like 20 mil taken away from him.
Right. Yeah.
Taxes.
He's basically learning to be rich. So he's like, I just bought a couple of mansions for practice. Like I got 28 million or I had to pay 20 million in taxes. Like pretty much everything that happens to a brand new rich person. Like somebody hits the lotto or somebody that is a football player or a basketball player or something, right? Or a rapper. And then, so he's like, this is what my life was. It was like a whirlwind all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's right. Though it's just like 50K in jewelry.
And the way the drum beat comes in, like right? Like it makes sense that that's where he would go with it, right? He would take that song there. That makes sense. Again, this part of it, like I'm fine with because that part, like the lead up makes sense.
Yeah.
And then he didn't have anything coming in like at me sideways while I was trying to listen to what he was saying.
Yeah.
So it's digestible.
Yeah.
Right. Without.
Yeah. Just like where, hey, like he kind of just took you to that point to like where, man, okay, I'm about to see this therapist.
Yep.
And now he's spilling his guts.
Okay.
To the therapist right now, but anyway, yeah. So we'll get back to that.
Okay.
Chicago, North America tour, my high clothes. Fee-fi-fo-fum, she was a model. Dedicated to the songs I wrote in the Bible. Eyes like green, penetrating the moonlight. Hair done in a bun, energy in the room like Big Bang for theory. God, hoping you hear me. Phone out the ring to tell the world I'm busy. Fair enough. Green eyes said her mother didn't care enough. Sympathize when her daddy in the chain gang. Her first brother got killed, he was 21. I was 9 when they put Lamont in the grave. Heartbroken when I still didn't say goodbye. Chad left his body after we FaceTimed. Green eyes said you be okay. First tour sex the pain away. I grieve different.
Okay.
So he talks about how his brother died when his brother was 21, right? And he was like 9 or something. And he was like crying when they buried him. Right. His girl's dad or brother was in the chain gang, so he was in jail.
Well, it's like this. It's kind of, all right, so him being on tour.
Yeah.
All right. Meeting this tall, whatever, model chick or whatever, right?
Okay.
All right. So basically right here, he is talking about committing adultery right now. Because if you don't think about it, all right, so Lamar, he's dealing with loss. He's reminiscing on a family member getting killed when he was 9. Model chick talking about situations in her family and so on and so forth. And with her talking about her dad's in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Lamar feeling guilty for not being at his friend's side when he got shot. He FaceTimed his friend, and shortly after he FaceTimed, his friend died in surgery. So Lamar sharing this stuff with that other chick. That chick is sympathizing with him. And then
that's the like model he's talking about, like the fee-fi, but I don't get the fee-fi-fo-fum.
Because she's tall. Giant.
Okay.
Giant.
Okay.
Giant. Okay.
I'm like, because he's like, this model is fee-fi-fo-fum, and then he just keeps rolling with it real fast. And I was like, who's this?
Yes, that's right. And so
you need a little context for those ones.
Yeah, that's right. And so that chick is trying to sympathize with him, telling him, hey, everything's going to be all right. And so he's drawn to that. So they connect, and basically he cheats on his wife. I'm like, in order to deal with the pain that he's feeling.
Okay.
Deep. See, that's what I'm saying. True.
I grieve different. The new Mercedes with black G-Wagon away from, it was all for rap. I was 28 years young, 20 million in tax. Bought a couple of mansions, just for practice. 500 in jewelry, chain was magic. Never had it in public, late reaction. 50K to cousins, post a caption. Pray none of my enemies hold me captive. So what? Paralyzed, the county building controlled us. I bought a Rolex watch, I only wore once. I bought infinity pools I never swam in. I watched King by 4 cars in 4 months. You know the family dynamics on repeat. The insecurities locked down on PC. I bought a 223, nobody peace treat. You won't do me, I smell TNT. Dave got him a Porsche, so I got me a Porsche. Paid lottery for it, I ain't wanted in portions. Poverty was the case.
So this whole thing sounds like he is just explaining his life after he made it.
He is,
basically, like, right, like he's saying, like, from the beginning, he's basically like saying, like, this is kind of like a recap, like this is like not a recap, this is like an extension to after, like, at first I just bought those mansions because of whatever, and then I got the taxes I had to pay, blah blah blah. And then I kept on it, right? Like, I bought the infinity pools and never swam in, and I got a couple more. Yeah, I got another 500 watches, and I gave my cousins 50 grand. I'm praying that my enemies don't like hold me captive. I'm doing like all this stuff, right? Like, so he's like continuing. He's like I grieve different now than I used to. So he's like basically saying, like, when I was younger, I was trying to get to this point, and I thought that I would make it, and I would be free, basically, like, from like current, like, my old situation. He's like, now that I'm free from my old situation, but I'm still grieving. It's just different.
And I think that he's trying to fill a void with this right here.
Right.
Like, the thing I got from it is that with all the hurt that he's had in his past, you know, the survivor's guilt, you know, he's trying to fill voids. You know, so that's why he's talking about,
so he's filling voids
that he never swam in
with,
you know,
model
like
giants and cars and infinity pools and watches, paying his cousins off because he's like feels guilty.
And
that
then, like, he even
didn't.
talks about how Baby Keem bought 4 cars, you know, in 4 months.
Was Baby Keem the one that was in that other music video with him? That other rapper that everybody made a big deal about a year ago. You remember you said it to
Family
me.
Ties? Family
Ties, yeah. Is that him?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So he talks about, you know, how Keem bought 4 cars in 4 months because he's kind of like dealing with the same thing, like family pain.
Yep.
But like they're trying to like spend money to fill these voids. And then how he mentioned how his business partner Dave bought him a Porsche. Okay. So he bought a Porsche too. And then he was talking about how he didn't want a Porsche then, but, you know, but lottery was a case, like he paid with lottery, obviously from his success, he's able to pay for a Porsche cash. And then he's talking about, you know, how he's using his money to wipe the tears away, like wipe the past away, all of that stuff.
Okay.
And so that's how he's grieving now.
So I grieve different. Yeah. So yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But the money wiping the tears away, I grieve different.
Everybody grieves different. Everybody grieves different.
I grieve different.
Now I'm going to tell you.
I'm a sucker for the grand piano. So like that was my favorite part.
Wow. Listen, man, I like the grand piano too. I like all of that, man. I'm going to tell you, like, it was amazing. Like when I saw this, obviously, like the other day, but yeah.
Yeah. So, you saw this live last night. That's pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie. Like what he is able to do is so impressive. Like it's like Harry Mack level. For like when Harry Mack does his freestyles, he is that good at just being able to like find a pocket and exploit it, and then artistically exploit it as well. Yeah. Right? Because what he does artistically is like he paints a picture. Yeah. For people, especially people that came up in that kind of environment where they live in a completely different life than most people are like most like average Americans are used to, right? And so when he's saying this stuff, it hits home like real deep for a lot of people, and that is super impressive to me.
Yeah.
The thing that I don't like about Kendrick, the reason I don't listen to Kendrick Lamar that much, like I'm impressed by what he's able to do. I kind of see it as like going to a museum, right? I want to go to a museum sometimes, but I'm not going to a museum every single day, right? Like it's like a once in a while kind of thing. I got to be in the right mood. Like it's not really my, and museums are cool, but it's not really my cup of tea. It's like, it's too artistic. And at the same time, it feels like it's trying to be too artistic as opposed to being like when I listen to music, I don't want to say opposed to being music because it is music, but it is opposed to being music for like continuous digesting. I prefer music that I can listen to over and over again. And an example of like an artistic form of music like this that I could listen to probably that I digest better than this because I could listen to it more would be like NF's The Story. Like I think I showed you the story one time where he like goes through like that the whole robbery scene in the Quickie Mart or the 7-Eleven or whatever it was, right? Like that has like the same type of artistic feel as this a little bit with like the storytelling and like the passion that's put into it. But also it has the music like replayability-ish kind of aspect to it a little bit more than this does. I feel like I know I'm going to get fucking flamed for saying that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to tell you.
Because people love Kendrick Lamar.
So I'm going to tell you though, like it's okay to have an opinion, man. Yeah. And it's like, I value that opinion, but I'll tell you with this, I really do think the opposite. I think this is just art at its finest, you know, and it's just like, it's effortlessly. I mean, it's just like being able to go in there and just come up with these types of thoughts. And then having the producers, you know, come in beyond that same type of level and follow everything that he's doing. I just think that it is remarkable. And like I tell you what, though, and like as far as listening goes, like I tell you what, you know, he's like the type of guy that, I mean, yeah, he is, you know, I would say like a lot of people say, hey, he's like difficult to digest. You know, it's like it's too complex, it's too this, it's too that. But honestly, like I like that in my life because I'm the type of person that likes to live with albums. I like to live with them. I don't want to have an album where, you know,
grew
it's
up
like,
living with
okay,
albums.
like it's
You're
good,
ancient,
you know,
right?
like for a day. Okay, like it's good for a day. Oh yeah, this is the jam, blah, 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 blah. And then I'm done with it. I
totally agree. I want to live with something that lives on forever.
Yes.
Totally
yes. This
agree.
is something that's going to live on for a very long time.
I don't disagree with that. But at the same time, I don't think, you know what else lives on forever? California Love, right? Like
California Love. Yeah, that was like I don't know. Hey, that was a great jam.
That was a great jam.
However, you know, it was far from his best song.
Well, obviously it's far from his best song, but I mean, it lives on forever.
Yes.
So if you want to talk about something that lives on forever.
And just like Humble and just like all the other stuff.
Humble.
However, he has
his best song, hands down, not even like a question in my mind, is DNA. Like that song is a story.
I say one of the best songs.
The good example.
I think that this like
this
by far like
DNA.
This touches DNA. This is like definitely on the same playing field because of the flow, because of his cadence. I mean, just because of the beat and because of like what it's about. I mean, like I'm saying, it's just like
the problem with this is it's less relatable. DNA is super relatable for lots of people.
And I want to, you know what though? I'm telling you this though. I'm glad that you touched on it being relatable because I will tell you what, like stuff that he mentioned in the song, I am guaranteeing that there's probably like 99% of hip hop artists that are going through that same thing, but they're doing hey, I got this rolling, I got this, but they're covering it all up. Like they're covering it all up, but they're covering it all up. Like he has the guts enough to admit, hey, this is why I'm doing this. This is that, or whatever. And it's just like, this is like something.
This is why I moved this way.
Something that I could relate to. And this is something, you know, and I'm gonna tell you this, and this is something that, I mean, like, not only, you know, African Americans,
I know.
but all of the cultures, everybody that I talk to, it's just like, I mean, just from like different backgrounds or whatever.
But that's the same as DNA. DNA says the same thing.
Hey, I'm not taking anything away from DNA. Like, DNA was like one of, you know, DNA my top songs too as well. That's a hard song. However,
DNA puts him in the Hall of Fame.
DNA puts him in the Hall of Fame. This puts him in the Hall of Fame. And like,
well, I mean, yeah, you have to do
like
both.
Numerous.
So
I'm just saying,
right?
it's just like any one of these. I mean, well, I would say benchmark album to Pimp a Butterfly.
My favorite rapper thinks that he's goated, right? So
yeah,
Eminem says he's.
Look, man, I'm saying at the end of the day, at least like we could agree. All right. At least we could agree that, hey, you know what? Like, he got some talent or whatever. But yeah, we're gonna have our differences, and that's that. But hey, K Dot, hey, keep on doing your thing.
K Dot, Beers and Bars, episode 2.
Yep. Hey, Buzzworthy.